Good morning, friends. Pastor Jason checking in on this just picture perfect Tuesday morning. Um, had a in the Bible in a year reading plan that I'm doing with Todd and Heather and some friends. We're up now to First Kings, and we're at the part where King Solomon is now ascended to the throne. David has passed away, and this morning we have the interaction between God himself and Solomon, where God comes to Solomon and says, okay, what's your request? What do you want? And Solomon, he looks around and sees how young he is, and sees how numerous that the inhabitants of his nation are, and sees all the issues that they face and that they're going to face. And he asked God, he said, God, give me knowledge, give me the ability to understand. And God praises him. He said, you didn't ask for power, you didn't ask for wealth, you didn't ask for riches or castles or women, you didn't ask for any of that. You asked for understanding and knowledge, and it will be given to you along with other stuff as well. But I just love that Solomon has an opportunity to ask of God whatever he wants, and he asks to better understand his people. He asks how to better serve his people, how to be a better king, how to be a better leader. And I think that this ties in really well with where that Pastor Angie and myself and Kelly and Jeff are trying to kind of get us all to go. We spent weeks digging into these spiritual disciplines and these practices, so much of it focused on getting to a place where we can do what? Where we can hear God more clearly, where we can hear God better. If it's through prayer or fasting or some practices that lead us to some silence and some solitude or whatever it might be, it's all about kind of clearing some of the noise and the distraction and being able to focus on God. I think that the root of all of that is so that we can have a better understanding of ourselves, a better understanding of what it is that we're called to do, of who we are. We're asking God for knowledge in those moments, just like Solomon does. As we move forward now, we're going to start to talk about how that we can start to apply these practices, and how that we can put these practices into action, in ourselves, in our homes and our families, at the workplace, in church, in society, in the world. How do we move from gaining some knowledge, gaining some understanding, and then starting to apply that to the struggles that we face, to the situations that we face. So I loved where I found myself thinking today. Solomon is there one-on-one with God, and he asks God for understanding and for knowledge. He asks him for what he needs to do the job that he has been appointed to do. And I think, in a certain extent, that's where all of us are now too, or at least that's where all of us hopefully are getting close to that point. Or maybe that's, hopefully we're getting ourselves to a place where we're ready to ask God, okay, God, you give me what I need to do the task that you've set me here to do. All of these practices, everything we've done these last 7 weeks has just been giving us tools, has been giving us what we need to position ourselves in a way to gain some understanding, to gain some knowledge, to gain some wisdom, just like Solomon. And now that we have it, now that we're in that place, how can we go about applying that for what God has called us to do? First Kings is where this comes from. If you want to go back and brush up a bit on your Old Testament, just Just a lot of great stuff, some historical stuff there, some really broken, fractured relationships, and some get mended, some end in really tragic ways. But in the midst of all this, you get this thread of Solomon just desiring more than anything else understanding and knowledge, so that he can best be the person that God has called him to be. So, as you said about your prayers today or tonight, whatever it might be, as we pray for healing, as we pray for clarity, as we pray for strength, maybe let's try to fold in some prayers of understanding, some prayers of knowledge, some prayers that we are, living into what God has created us to be, that we're stepping up to the plate, we're coming up to that place of a breakthrough, and we just ask God, give me the understanding that I need to do the right thing here. That sets the stage for some amazing work to come in the future, but it is the understanding and the knowledge that needs to come first. So, friends, thanks for hanging out a bit today. Hope you guys all have a great day. Remember how much you are loved, and we will see you soon. Bye, guys.